Morning, chat. It's time for another little FaceTime session. I have no clue how I'm going to set you up. Today, for the last couple days, actually, I've had something cross my mind. It's more related to like priorities, in a sense, I guess. So, I noticed that before I moved down here for the summer, I was working out a lot more consistently. Is this gonna be a video of me just entirely yapping about the fact that I've lifted 5 times in the last month? Most likely, but you can take away probably more stuff than you think you might be able to from this rant, hopefully. So before I moved down here, I was working out consistently, I would say 20 to 25 times out of the 28 days in a month, generally. I was probably taking one rest day a week at most. There were times where I was taking two, but this is me coming off of like a like a stretch where I couldn't work out in a sense. A lot of you know that I had surgery back in December, and that took me out of the gym for like about 3 months where I couldn't do any upper body training. It got so bad to where I needed to be in the gym. So I literally went and hit legs like 4 days a week. And albeit my calves grew for the first time in my life, so it did work. But getting back into that, I was like really, really excited to be able to do that. The only issue with that, I feel like, is that every single day I was spending 4 to 5 hours going to the gym, working out, doing my cardio, coming home, after talking to friends at the gym, etc. Spending time like chilling out, watching a gym video on YouTube, then like showering, for example. Then I would get out of the shower and I'd make a protein shake, and then I would cook dinner while drinking the protein shake and like meal prep all this stuff for the next day or for just that dinner. And like I would literally take 4 to 5 hours a day to do all of that because it's something that I genuinely do enjoy. It's like, if you could give me the option between, I don't know, what's something fun, right? The option between sitting in like a classroom and going to the gym to work out, even like without headphones, as crazy and psychotic as that sounds, I would choose the gym every single time. Like the option between reading a book, working out, I'd go work out every time. The option between editing a video and working out, I would be at the gym every single time. The option between live streaming or like filming this video, I would just rather be at the gym blasting music in my ears, turning my brain off, and like doing bicep curls and shoulder raises for half an hour, and then bench pressing and squatting for half an hour. And like I would rather spend my entire life in the gym than most other things. And that's not to say like I don't like video games. Like if it were up to me, I would play video games in silence, blasting music for the rest of my life. But unfortunately, my health isn't up to me, and my mental mind state isn't up to me. It was up to like nature or God or evolution or whatever you might believe in. It was left up to universal fate to decide that I have to go outside for 10 minutes a day to be normal, that I have to do some kind of exercise so that I don't get tired stepping into the shower, so that I don't get out of breath standing up from the toilet, right? And I've noticed literally the first month that I was here, the full month, I worked out like 3 or 4 times total. And that was like a genuine culture shock to me, I guess. The plan was to come down here and work on YouTube and work on Twitch and everything and build up that foundation for like to try and set myself up in a sense with something that I've been doing for the last decade, as a lot of you guys know, is just making content. But I feel like things may end up taking a little bit longer than I am prepared to handle at this very moment in time. If I had 4 to 6 months in a row where I could do what I'm doing, I feel like it's almost guaranteed that it happens. But the fact that I only have a month left is very, very stressful. But that's a tangent. I'll talk about that some other time eventually, probably. Today I just wanted to talk about more like priorities. And the reason I'm making this video is because a couple days ago I was literally crashing out. At night I was laying there at like 1 a.m. in bed, like not able to fall asleep, just thinking about like, oh God, what if I don't make it by the end of the summer? Or like all these little superficial things, or like dang, I haven't worked out. What if my body isn't up to par when I go back to town? Like, it's just all these little stupid things, right? That like kind of get exacerbated. I think that's a word. They get enlarged when it's like late at night and you're in your feels, right? And you're thinking about like your whole life and the conversation you had 7 years ago, that you said the wrong thing, that you would have crushed them if you said this thing. You just think about all those things. Literally, like when I go back to town and everyone sees that I'm just as white as I was before, even though I'm literally directly next to the equator now for the summer, because I've been outside a total of 5 times, aside from going to Target and Walmart. I was thinking about that, and I was like really upset and down on myself that I hadn't been to the gym. But then I looked at like all the progress I've been making on YouTube. Even though I don't have much to show for it just yet, there are like let me define something to show. It's like a consistent increase in the baseline viewership, or the consistent increase in the quality of my video ideas, for example, a consistent, noticeable, establishable like style to video editing. That like going into the summer and coming out of the summer, what's changed in a sense, as where going into it, I was like, I had already done so much. I've already accomplished so much as a community, and coming out of the summer, it's like, I've accomplished a little bit more, right? It's been 10 years. What have I done in the next 2 months? You know what I mean? It's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things to like develop. But like, I now don't have an hourly based job. 2 years ago, I worked 2 pretty much full-time jobs back to back and still tried to manage the YouTube channel and post like once a week at least. Last year, I spent working 35 hours a week at a minimum wage job at a gym, and also consistently worked out and still posted more than the year before. And this year, I decided to leave the job that I'd had the last 4 years in order to go full time on YouTube and Twitch. And like, I can't even lie, right? The production is up. The quality of videos are up. The number of posts are up. The number of consistent viewers are up. The number of watch time, like Twitch streams are more consistent because I'm able to have a schedule. All these things, my energy's up. I'm able to meal prep. I have the time to work out if I want to. But it like comes down to the big question of like, is this a product of me having developed as a creator, or developed in my field, I guess, to make it more relatable? Or is this simply like me just cashing in on the fact that I have more time available? Like if I get 10 people on a stream because I have 2 hours to stream. But if I have 4 hours to stream, I get 20 people. That's objectively higher. But is it because the topic of the stream was more interesting, or was it just because I worked 2 more hours? You know what I mean? It's like at a job. You might work harder, smarter, faster than your coworkers. But if you're working the same amount of hours, if you're in an hourly paid job, you're going to get the same amount of pay. If you stay for a couple extra hours on top of that, you're going to get a couple extra hours of pay. You're not actually developing as a person or growing unless you have a goal you're working towards and you're developing the skills to fit into that next role, whether it be like management, or you're leaving to go to like a sales position that's commission based, or you're leaving to go learn how to become a car mechanic or something like that, right? Like, unless you are developing as a person, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I'm less concerned about how much I'm making right now, or how much impact I have, or how many views I'm getting, or how many subscribers. I'm less concerned about the numbers as they stand, and I'm more concerned about the rate at which I am able to acquire these things. So like, I don't want my views to go up. I want to come up with a video that takes the same amount of time to make as another one, but gets more views. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my Twitch viewership to go up. I want to make clips that are more entertaining so that every time I stream, I get more views per stream. And again, I don't only care about views. I'm just trying to use that as like a baseline metric. And I'm definitely tangenting here, I've just realized, but like, I've noticed that as hard as it is for me to not be working out as often as I want to, this whole experience was like a trip to try and, I guess, force a form of self-discovery in terms of like creating content. Like, who do I want to be known as on the internet? What videos do I want to make? What emotions do I want to consistently give people who watch my videos? Like, what do I want to accomplish, I guess, is the question I have been asking myself. And my friend and I have this bet, like, long story short, the concept of it is who will become successful first, without giving like the specific details of it, because it's kind of hilarious and very outlandish. Shout out to my boy Craig. It's sort of boiled down to like, we used to say by any means necessary, in a sense. And I wanted to accomplish that without like selling my soul, without just making some random AI automated channel, right? Because I don't believe in that as fully yet for its capabilities. I instead of making like some kind of kid slop on YouTube, which I could just make a kid slop faceless channel where I play Roblox and Minecraft all day and talk in a voice like this, and hire someone to play with me and be like a voiceless channel, or a voiceless person on the channel who's just always there as a character, and like just all the thumbnails are like animated, colored in, and all the editing is like zero silence. It's just like da, 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 da. It's like the goal has always been to almost make like videos that are as impactful as like a movie might be, to like draw out an emotion, to make some kind of change from beginning to end in the storyline, to have a whole story arc, climax, resolution, to make people like feel something emotionally. And that core belief and that goal as a whole stays the same. In this last week, I've kind of struggled with the whole priority thing. And in this last week, I've been watching more content around like priorities, goals, things like that. And I've kind of opened my creative outlets to basically, to summarize, so that I can throw more shit at a wall and see what sticks. Does that make sense? Instead of me being narrow-minded, I only want to play indie horror games. I want to be known as that guy. Like, I want to be like Fusion Gamer. I want to be, I can't think of the other guy that I've been seeing recently. He wears a bandana like this and he streams and then he just posts the video and he just plays indie games. But like, I want to be the next Markiplier. I've realized that like, as much as I want to keep those cores intact, it's like generations of viewers will change over time, and I kind of have to, I wouldn't say compromise, but I have to serve the audience that is there in order to develop a name for the brand. And then I have to, on top of that, keep my creative process and my center, my core of creation as a whole, like the same. So I have to like, and this isn't me like putting boundaries on myself, saying like, oh, like I have to do this, like otherwise socially I'll be unaccepted or whatever. This is me being like, I've decided that how I want to live my life is not as like a kid slop creator. It's not as like a package opener, reviewing toys or whatever. Like, how I want to live my life and experience content creation as a whole is similar to the ways like Jacksepticeye and Mark and PewDiePie, similar to the ways they experienced their creator sphere, but I have to cater my content to newer audiences, if that makes sense. So I have to make more like TikTok focused videos. I have to make a little bit faster paced video. Like I have to cut to the chase faster. I have to package it with intros. This is hard too. Caveat, I don't have to do this. I have to lean into things that I have found that work for my content style. Like other people have done what I am saying I can't do and made it successful. It's just that I am trying to shrink the timeline between when my own creative perspective gets noticed by a large enough audience to where it's something I can turn into a full-time career so that I can do this all day, every day, like I am right now. So like I am not prioritizing it, but I am more concerned than I was before about the timeline on which that happens. So, God, I don't know how this all wraps in, but I have removed not only obstacles that I wanted to get rid of, like both of my full-time jobs, but also obstacles that I didn't want to get rid of. Things like the gym, only working out once or twice a week just to maintain those things. Things like friends I haven't seen in a month. I haven't talked to anyone aside from Emily in person in a month. I haven't looked face to face at anyone I know outside of her. And the first time I started to miss anything like that was actually last night when I went to the gym and I was listening to music that I listened to last summer. And I looked around and I saw people who looked similar, but not familiar, if that makes sense. They looked like some of the friends I have back at home. And I got this instinct to stop my set and walk over and talk to them. And I'm like, wait, like, that's not Connor. That's not Aiden. That's not Nick. That's not so. You know what I mean? Like, those aren't the people that I know. So I don't have the option to do that. And I actually got a little sad about it. But like, I have given up all of this basically to not only just make videos full time, but to develop more as a person so that when I come back, I am a stronger creator and I can maybe post less, but more thought goes into each post. So each post is sharper. Each post moves the needle a little further down the line of like where I need to be, right? Does that make sense? I just wanted to basically share my own experience of like how I've been impacted so far by, I guess, over prioritizing, over indexing on, I guess, self-development as a creator or as like a person with skills. This last month has been purely me just locking in on skills. And it got bad enough. The reason that this whole thing got sparked is literally because I'd worked out for like 15 minutes the other day. I was training legs, of course. And I had to stop after like 20 minutes total because I felt like nauseous and I felt a little lightheaded, I'm not gonna lie. And I'd eaten a full breakfast, whatever. And I had to go to the store after, so I drove over to Walmart. And I was just sitting in the car, just sitting there. And not only was I short of breath, but I was also like, my chest felt tight and I felt like hunched over. And when I tried to open up, it felt like I couldn't expand my lungs enough to get air in. And I wasn't like stressed or anxious or anything. But that's like the closest I would assume I've felt to like an anxiety attack in a sense, or asthma or something. It's the first time, one of the few times in my life I'd actually felt forcibly short of breath to an extent where I could feel that my chest wasn't expanding enough. I wasn't absorbing enough oxygen to like replenish my blood to feed the rest of my body. And I can only assume it was because I'd only worked out 3 to 4 times a day, and I'm averaging like under 1,000 steps a day. I'm sitting in this chair over here for probably 10 hours a day, if not more, to like plan out things, to game afterwards, to stay late on stream, to talk to you guys, to record, edit videos and shorts and clips, and to post them and schedule them everywhere, to watch other videos, to like plan out future streams and videos. I've been doing nothing but sitting in this chair. And it wasn't until after I stopped exercising that I realized how much of a general day-to-day impact it has on my life. So now it's gone from like, how can I spend as much time on videos as I can, to how little can I get away with exercising realistically so that it doesn't impact my creative process. Because if I'm sitting in that chair and I'm moving my hand to move the mouse and I'm typing with my left hand and that's making me short of breath, there's a problem. If I'm sitting there and I'm focusing on breathing so I can't think, there's a problem, right? And I just want to let you know that like it's worth taking care of your health and everything, but like if you get the opportunity to, basically lock in on whatever goal you have, lock in and try and focus on that thing as much as it's physically possible. And don't focus on doing the thing, but focus on who you need to become as a person to create that outcome, to create that product, to, I don't know, to nail that interview for your first job, to go start working out. If I were to walk into a gym for the first time ever, I'd feel like I don't know what I'm looking at a bunch of machines. Okay, I know those are for exercise. I know the people here are working out, and I don't know how. So when I go use a machine, other people are gonna be looking at me. But do you think the people who are like over there freaking bicep curling 50-pound dumbbells or like bench pressing, right? Do you think those people give a crap about other people in the gym like looking at them? They don't. Pro tip, they don't. I've been working out for like 4 years consistently now, 3 years consistently now, minus the surgery. I couldn't care less about anyone else in the gym aside from asking for a spot and finding someone to talk to between my sets if I feel like it. So you gotta think, I don't want to start working out. I want to become the person who works out. I don't want to start working as a manager at my job. I want to become the person who is a great manager, who is a great leader, right? I don't want to like sell the most cars in a month. I want to become the salesperson that people want to buy from, right? That's basically the end of my rant. And that video hasn't finished exporting yet. It's been 30 minutes. It's been stuck on 97%. It's now at 100%. I'm waiting for it to export so I can upload it to the VODs channel. But basically, all I'm trying to say is like, if no one else does, I give you permission to be a little bit delusional and a little bit stupid with your self-belief. Believe in what you're trying to accomplish, as little or large as that goal may be. And like me, I'm stupid. I was in debt. I made a savings in cash. I was in debt. And I decided to leave my job and move down south and not work while I was down here so that I could focus on making videos, because that's something I've been doing for so long. That's something I've seen other people do for so long, and so many people have come up and gone down and made it and accomplished the things that I wanted to achieve in the time that I've been trying to. I feel like it has to be possible. You know what I mean? So I did not come down here with the intention of posting all the time. I came down here with the intention of figuring out who I have to become as a creator to end up in the position I want to be in. And that's the only question I leave you with is, who do you want to become? And what are the first steps you have to take basically to get there? And those are questions I've been battling with for the last couple weeks now, I would say. So I'm gonna leave you with that. That's my rant for the day. I don't know. Just leave a goal in the comments, I guess. Maybe we can chat a little bit about this. If you have anything you want to talk about personally or you related to this, feel free to like DM me on Discord. Those should be open for the people on my server. Y'all are probably all people in my server, so I'm always open to chat. You know that. Or if you want to chat in like Twitch, I could probably clip that, turn it into a video. But yeah, so I'll catch y'all whenever I see you, or on the next rant or something. I hope you enjoy these like little like FaceTime videos where we just chat, because this is kind of how me and my boy Craig, we just like, we'll FaceTime or we'll call and we'll just sit here and yap for like 4 hours about how stupid it is that people feel like there's goals that they can't accomplish, when in reality it's just something that you can't accomplish yet. Like, I'm not the person who can become a manager at my store yet. I'm not the person who can make videos who people want to watch yet. I'm not the person who can talk for 5 hours on a live stream and have people listen to me yet. Like, I'm not the person who gets straight A's in school and goes to the college that I've always dreamed of yet, right? No one's born with any of that, so why should you expect that of yourself? Until you prioritize becoming that person over the outcome that it gets you. Does that make sense? But that's basically where I'm gonna leave you. So I don't know. If you guys like these, I'll keep them coming. So I hope you liked it. This is a half an hour rant, so I don't know. I don't know, man.